All right, so this is a review video. So I watched. There's a movie on Netflix. I guess it came out for Halloween, and it's called "I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House." So I finally watched it today. It's about hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes. Let me tell you, this movie. Watching it for the first time, to me, it was terrible because there wasn't much explanation in what's going on and what happened. In order for me to get the story, I have to go on Google and get someone else's explanation of it. So basically, what happens in the movie is this young hospice nurse moves in to a house and she's taking care of an older lady who used to be a novelist back in her day, and now she's supposedly on her deathbed. So first night she's there, she noticed some weird things happen, things that just make you uneasy. So she went there because I guess the lady was supposedly supposed to die pretty soon, but ended up a year later and the lady's still there. So talking to the estate manager, you know, they're trying to assess how well she is and how long she might live. So to continue, somehow the story about Polly came up, and it was a lady that she wrote about in one of her books, the older lady, and when the girl did a little bit of snooping around and realized that it was not just a story, that it was a real person. And from the story that the old lady wrote, the ending was one that you knew was coming, but she never quite said it, and you never understood why. But the gist of the story is the husband, Polly's husband, built a house for them to live in after they got married. The townspeople said they disappeared afterwards, but it turns out he killed her, hid her body in the walls, and God knows what happens to him, but he's no longer around. So the writer lady moves in and she finds a box of writings or letters or journals that Polly wrote to who knows, but they're in the box, and she reads it and she turns it into a story. Now, it is like there is like diary pages, but it never had an ending because obviously she died and she can't write after she's dead. So that's why the lady's story never really came out and said the ending. And it turns out Polly's spirit's haunting the house because obviously she died and she's stuck there. So one day she just shows up, she scares a girl and she frightens her to death and she dies. And then the old lady, because no one ever comes to visit because she has no family and the nurse has no family that visits anyway, so no one comes to visit. And because no one comes to visit, the old lady stays up in her room and dies because she is bedridden. And yeah, everybody's dead. And that's it. Next, scene, the coroner comes and picks up the bodies. And that's it. Now she says she's a pretty thing that lives in the house. A new family moves in and she's haunting them, and that's it. My honest opinion is watching through it, it was just very long and drawn out. It was these long scenes, not even a scene. Like she'll be standing in the door looking at something, but it lasts for a good 10 to 20 seconds. They're just very long and drawn out. And it's something that could have been told in 5 minutes, but the way it was drawn out to an hour and 30 minutes. So the director, whoever he is, the writer, don't ever write anything ever again because that movie was horrible. But going back and reading the Google reviews and the plot and, whatever, it actually was very, good. Watching it, it wasn't good. but going back to understand it, it was actually very good. The shots in the movie were actually very, like, it was supposed to portray beauty and, just uneasiness, and it did really capture that. It was just, it wasn't very explanatory. It didn't tell you what was going on. It just gives you little Easter eggs or little bits and pieces and expect you to figure it out you know in the little bit of time that they give you. If I was to rate it out of 1 to 5 star, I was rated about 2.5, because, like I said, it is the beauty of it was very good, but the understanding was not. You have to think too much. I don't want to think too much when I'm watching a movie. I want everything to be laid out in front of me and told to me, okay? I don't want to hear, and I just don't want anything like that. It was just weird. Will I watch it again? I'll probably watch it one more time. Now that I know what's happening, I probably watch it just to pick up the clues. But after that, probably not. So I give it a thumbs. I don't even know. I don't know. I think it's worth a watch if you have nothing else better to watch. It's not scary. Everyone, there's no jump scares. There's the one jump scare, but it wasn't even that scary. So